Good morning, I'm Tim Langston with Red Dog Bushcraft. And what's stimulating this video today is I recently wrote a review for the Pathfinder Fire Steel or a Ferrocerium rod that they sell on their website. This is a nice size fire steel, as you can see, compared to this brand new pencil. Give you a good view of that. And this is a great piece of kit. It's a really good fire steel, and I thought I would demonstrate some of the ways that you can use this, the advantages and disadvantages of this piece of equipment. Stay with me, I'll be right back. Alright, I brought you in a little bit closer so hopefully you can see a little bit better. But I just wanted to let you know, I keep one of these fire steels brand new in my knife. And every time I go out, I either change it out or I keep one in my bag, and I usually use the one in my bag. And I keep the one on my knife that I plan on using if I get caught in an emergency, brand spanking new. And the reason I do that is because these fire steels come with a protective coating. Now, to use this fire steel, you need to scrape that protective coating off. And that's as simple as just taking the back of your knife. If you've got a good knife with a 90-degree angle spine here, a good sharp edge back here, you can just scrape that coating off, no problem at all. Now, one thing that I hear a lot about fire steels, and it's pretty much a standard throughout the industry, is the handles come off. And I don't care if you pay $5 for this one on the Pathfinder store website, or if you go out and you spend 20 bucks on another name brand, they all have a tendency for these handles to come off. But what you can do is once you start to use this thing, you can scrape the coating off of the end, and then I use a little bit of epoxy in the end, and you can squish that back on there real good, turn it, work it, and it'll adhere a lot better, and you can retain that little piece of plastic. Now I take this is a rubberized type of a hairband, and I put that through this hole just by simply running it through and then running it back. Here we go. By running it through and then running it back through itself. Got a little cinch knot there. And then as my fire steel sets into my fire loop, that can go over top of it and it retains it inside the loop. Now I keep one of these on my multi-tool that I carry every single day, and that's the one that I'll be demonstrating today because I use it all the time. One other tip that I can give you is if this handle really doesn't, if you don't care if you're putting this in a kit somewhere, just take it and wrap some of the narrower Gorilla Tape around the end of it, and it makes a really good grippy handle and comes in handy as far as the tape goes. And you can also put this loop underneath the tape as you're wrapping it in between the layers of the wrap, and that'll be another way you can retain that. But let's try this thing out and see exactly how it works. Now I usually use two different things as far as the scraper. I don't like the saw blades and all that come with them. It's just something else that I have to carry, and I don't care for them that much anyway. My favorite thing to use on the back side of these to scrape them off is simply the saw of my multi-tool. I think it works just as good as anything, and it throws a really good hot spark and works extremely well. Now probably the most used piece of equipment that you see as far as testing fire steels is just a plain cotton ball. So I'll pull that apart, lay the little fuzzies out there, and we'll give a strike with this, with just the back side of my Pathfinder Scout knife, and see how we do. Alright, so good strike on that. Cotton ball burns well. Alright, cotton ball and Vaseline is probably one of the most popular fire starters and something that works best in just about any condition. People use it all over the world, and absolutely no issue starting that up as well. The back of this Pathfinder Scout knife works really well for that particular application. Now here's another product. Now these work very similar to your wet fires. This is a Weber Original lighter cube, but your wet fire tenders, I find that they are very similar in characteristics and the way that you need to light them. And I simply take my knife or the stick, or you can even use the end of the ferrule rod for this, and I just scrape off a little bit of dust. And then you can set your cube right in that dust and start that on fire. But plenty of heat there to get that started, and that burns very well, and those cubes are one of my go-to fire starters. I think you'll find that most effective. So people will ask, what about some of my stoves? Well, this is alcohol. This is just plain old rubbing alcohol, and it's at 91%. And I'll take that and pour a little bit of that in this alcohol stove here. Just a little bit. I don't want to go crazy here. And there we go, that's lit. And I don't know if you can see that or not, but I retained one of the cotton balls here so that we can prove that that's lit. And as you can see, that's burning up. So once again, alcohol, no problem whatsoever. I've used this with the Mini and Micro Inferno, and it's great for that particular application also. Now here we have one of my favorite natural tinders. This is a piece of fat wood that I harvested. You can see a video that I did previously on that. But I just take the back of this Pathfinder Scout knife and scrape off some of these little small thin pieces of dust here. Make you a nice little pile of that. And let's see how we can get a spark on that. Went the wrong way. Daggone this. Hold on a minute. That alcohol is about ready to burn me up. I need to move that out of the way here for a second. Ooh, that's getting hot. I didn't think I put that much in there. Alright, so let's fire up this fat wood. My hands are all slick now from my from the Vaseline. Well, I'm getting plenty of good sparks. There it goes. My fat wood was a little bit wet. I actually left that piece sitting out here over the campfire, and it's been raining for the last couple of days. I should have gone and gotten a dry piece. But nonetheless, as you can see, that fire steel throws great sparks. I highly recommend it. They sell these for a very reasonable price. You'd be hard pressed to find a fire steel of this size anywhere on the net for that amount of money. And as you can see with the back of that saw blade, man, I'm just ripping off sparks with that thing. Now that I'm getting that coating off, working my way around it, it's just really working well. So anyway, there's my review of the Pathfinder fire starter, ferrocerium rod. Highly recommend that piece of equipment. Okay guys, thanks for joining me for another video. I hope you enjoyed this review of the Pathfinder Fire Steel. Get yourself one, put it in your kit, make it part of your everyday carry. You won't go wrong. You can't beat it for the price. It's a great piece of kit. Thanks for joining me once again. I'm Tim Langston with Red Dog Bushcraft. God bless y'all.